Good evening, everybody. I'm back. I'm Bea Rashid, and I am married to the lovely Steve Rashid, who is usually your host here at Studio5. Steve, I am sad to say, is whooping it up in Nashville right now and is not available to be here this evening. So it gives us a special opportunity to invite a guest host. And this evening, our guest host is Dan Bindert, who is the station manager at WDCB. WDCB has been wonderful in helping promote this series at Studio5, and we are also, Steve has his Tuesday evening jazz show on WDCB. So we have a wonderful connection to them, and I'm very excited to introduce Dan Bindert to you, who is going to be the host this evening.
Thanks, Bea. And just want to thank Bea and Steve for all the great work that they do. If you haven't had a chance to catch the radio version of the shows that happen here at Studio5, as she mentioned, most Tuesday nights, 7 to 8 p.m. It's a program called Chicago Jazz Live. And Steve, as many of you know, is a man of many talents, not only a great musician, but also really great radio producer and host, and does these wonderful shows where he puts the music that happens here on the radio for us. So we're very happy to be able to present it on WDCB. Well, tonight's show, I'm very excited to hear what's to come, because I got to hear some of the sound check, and it sounded fantastic. One of my favorite singers in Chicago, Typhanie Monique, who's always doing wonderful and interesting things with the music. She has a recent CD out titled Call It Magic, came out earlier this year on JazzTimes Records. And if you haven't heard it yet, or if you don't own it, it is well worth seeking out, highly recommended.
And it's here, I believe, for sale.
And we will have it for sale in between sets. But also, you know, she's a very creative person, and so tonight is not all about that CD, even though it's fairly new. Tonight is a thematic show, and she told me the name of the theme just before we got going tonight, and it's called Shadow and Light. I'm sure she's going to be telling you more about it. But it got me to thinking about, you know, this time of year is with the seasons changing, things like that. I don't know how many of you have happened to have been outside during the last week around sunset time, but we've had like 3 or 4 of the most amazing sunsets in the past week. It's just been incredible with all these different, you know, hues and colors and shadow and light all together. And really, to me, it makes me think of what's great about Tiffany's work, because she sings with this power and authority, but she's got this beauty in her voice, and very creative and adventurous, and she's got a lot of soul too. So very multifaceted what Typhanie Monique does with the music. And so you're going to hear it tonight. She's got a really great group, a 6-piece group that's going to be performing tonight. A brand new piano in the house tonight, if you haven't seen that before. You may have seen an upright in the past, so it's going to sound extra great. She's going to start this off as a duo. So please welcome to the stage, on piano, Ben Lewis and Typhanie Monique.
Bum 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 bum. This is my winter song to you. The storm is coming soon. It rolls in from the sea. My voice a beacon in the My words will be your light to carry you with me. Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love? They say that things just cannot grow beneath the winter snow, or so I have been told. They say we're buried far, just like a distant star. I simply cannot hold. Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love alive? This is my winter song. December never felt so wrong. 'Cause you're right where I belong, inside your arms. I still believe in summer days. The seasons always change and life will find a way. I'll be your harvester of light and send it out tonight where we can start again. Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love alive? This is my winter song. December never felt so wrong. But you're right where you belong, inside my arms. This is my winter song for you. The storm is coming soon. It rolls in from the sea. My voice a beacon in the night. My words will be your light to carry you with me. Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love alive? Oh, is love alive? 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 Mr. Ben Lewis. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to bring out Mr. Neal Alger on guitar, Mr. Josh Ramos on the bass, and a special guest this evening that I'm so excited to share with you, Mr. Bob Garrett on percussion. I have to stand with this one. This is not a song that I shall sit down. So as Dan introduced me, thank you so much, Dan. And thanks to Bea and Steve for having me return. This is my second appearance at Studio 5. My first was with a fabulous dance production called Circle Rivera, which happened in November. And I fell in love with the space. And at that time, I already knew that I was performing here. So I wanted to provide you all with a special evening that was based on a thematic idea of shadow and light. And for me, what that means is that, you know, we come to a point at this time of year where we celebrate the holidays, of course, that's kind of the obvious. But then we also have the seasonal transition where we turn in for winter. And there's a stillness, at times a coldness for some of us, whether that be in our bones or our spirit. But then there's also that light of having an understanding of what you possibly have gone through in this past year, both joy and sorrow, and also a knowing that in just a moment you're going to step into another year, right, into a new year. So that beautiful transition of past into the future, and transition, which always at times, depending where you are in your life, can be difficult and can be joyous, but you always find yourself on the other side. So this is a song, and all the songs that I've chosen tonight are tunes that I'm either performing for the first time or have performed, but wanted to provide you with a little bit more intimate experience. So welcome to my living room. Like a descendant, I drifted far, far and wide. Isolation, separation, nowhere to hide. Maybe there's some place I can go, where there's sunshine and the wind won't blow. To fear is my loneliness. Nothing in the air except an empty chest, and nothing lasts forever. No, no, yeah. Although there are many, I look for no one but me. I last forever. Oh, nothingness. All I have to fear is my loneliness. Nothing in the attic except an empty chest, and nothing lasts forever. No, 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 no. Oh, nothingness. All I have to fear is my loneliness. Nothing in the attic except an empty chest. Oh, so nothing lasts forever. Thank you. So the next song is a tune that I was just introduced to. Hi, Tim. I'm sorry. This is Timothy Archbold, and he is on cello joining us this evening. And actually, that's perfect, because I was just going to say that this next song is a tune that I was asked to perform with Cirque Rivera Dance Theater. And it was such a joy to be a part of that production as I was singing. I was in the choreography with the dancers on stage, and it was such a new experience. And I love dance. I was a dance minor in college, and so I certainly have a fine appreciation for the incredible work ethic that professional dancers do to their bodies, right? Bea's like, yes. So Timothy was playing cello on that, and I said, hey, I've got a gig for you at the same place. And I'm so happy you said yes. So this is a tune that, a shortened rendition that I did with Circo Rivera. Because you're mine. You better stop the things you do. I lied, I lied, I lied. You know I can't stand it. The way you're running round, you know better, Daddy. I can't stand it. The way you put me down, you put me down. I put a spell on you because you're mine, 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 ooh, because you're mine. You anyhow, and I don't care. I don't care if you don't want me. I put a spell on you because you're mine. Said I put a spell on you. And 'cause I'm yours right now. 'Cause I'm yours right now, yeah. You ain't got to fool me, no. I put a spell on you, and you, and you, and you. Thank you. I think some of you will know this next song. You'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You'll forget the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love just to gaze a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? You kiss her mouth among the fields of gold. Have passed since those summer days on the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down among the fields of gold. You remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. I never made promises like these, and there have been some that are broken, but I swear in the days still left we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of snow. will walk in fields. When your body rises, will you walk in whatever field of gold that you choose to take that one step that you've been afraid to take? Because there's a field of gold that's just waiting for you, just on the other side. And that other side could be a minute, it could be a day, it could be a year. But time is an illusion. We create it in our own mind. So what is that field of gold that you choose? What is that step that you choose to make? What is the timing of it in which you take? And then do you remember that at this very moment you are walking in your own field of gold, at this very time? So then you ask yourself, how many steps forward do you really need to take? Because I think for most of us, we forget the field of gold and the beauty in which we live in right now. Do you forget the past as you walk in fields of barley? As the sun lays down a gentle sky, you walk in fields of gold. Walk in fields of gold. When you walk in fields. Thank you. So we're going to do one more tune for you in this first set, and if you haven't gotten a glass of red wine or bourbon, you might want to, as you can tell. In my living room, there should be a fireplace, but that would probably be a hazard. And in the next set, it will be a bit more holiday festive, but we aren't performing all holiday songs. We're just going to give you a little taste of the holiday season and some additional songs off of the new album. I'm really excited about this tune because for this song in particular, when I was asked by my record label to pick a Bob Dylan song to cover for one of their compilation CDs, he has such a list of songs. I mean, what you can choose from is daunting at times. So I decided to choose Boots for Spanish Leather. And when I chose this, the first thing that I knew I wanted was an oudou drum. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with an oudou drum, it is this fabulous clay drum. Bob, would you like to give him a little? Oh, yes. Yes. And originates from Nigeria, I believe. Yes. And so Bob is going to play the oudou drum, which is the heartbeat of this piece. And this is my version of Boots of Spanish Leather. I'm sailing away, my own true love. I'm sailing away in the morning. Is there something I can send you from across the sea? from the place where I've been landing. No, there's nothing you can send me, my own true love. Said there's nothing that I'm wishing to be owning. Just carry yourself back to me unspoiled. From across that lonesome ocean, yeah. Oh, I just thought you might want something fine, made of silver or made of golden, either from the mountains of Madrid or from the coast of Barcelona, yeah. But if I had the stars from the darkest night and the diamonds from the deepest oceans, I'd forsake them all for your sweet kiss. 'Cause that's all I'm wishing to be owning. But I might be gone a long old time, and it's only that I am asking. Is there something I can send you to remember me by, to make your time more easy passing, to make your time more, to make your time more easy passing, to make your time more easy passing, yeah. Oh, how can you ask me again? Because it only brings me sorrow. The same thing that I want today, I would want again, I would want again tomorrow. Said, if you, my love, must think that way, I am sure that your mind is roaming. I'm sure your heart is not with me, but with a country to where it's going. Take heed, take heed, take heed of the western wind. Take heed of the stormy weather. Yes, there's something you can bring back to me. Spanish boots of Spanish leather. Spanish boots of Spanish leather. Spanish boots of Spanish leather. Spanish boots of Spanish. Spanish boots of Spanish leather. Said it depends on how I'm feeling, yeah. country to where I might be going, to make your time more easy passing. Spanish boots of Spanish leather, yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. Oh, it depends on how I'm feeling. Hey, oh, yeah. To make your time more, to make your time more easy passing. To make your time, to make your time more easy passing, yeah. To make your time more easy, easy. To make your time more to make your time more easy passing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Before we take a break, I'm going to end this set with an original poem that I wrote that kind of ties in all of the tunes that I sang for you in this first set. It's called Frozen to Be Free. I reach a point where I can't return. Glancing back at my footsteps in the snow, I could retrace and start again, only to end up in the exact same place, to be in the exact same moment, frozen to be free. The trees glisten in the sun as the cold sting of the air snaps a branch in two. I watch as it falls to the earth. I wait, knowing the white pillow of snow will gracefully catch its fall. Deeply inhaling, I feel the ground below me regenerating life. In constant evolution, the illusion of time frozen plays with the naked eye. The blanket of white stretches for miles, waiting for my footprints to change the spatial constructs of beauty. The cold air stings my cheeks, my eyes water, frozen tears, frozen to be free. The energy to move forward demands my thoughts, an intuitive caution moves my feet forward. Fresh snow crunches below me as Mother Earth holds me in her palm. I turn quickly to glance back at my past. The longing to retrace my steps has vanished, just as the snow drifts to cover my path. Inhaling the deep inner knowing, I dance across the field of snow to another space in this very moment. This moment of now. This moment of now. This moment of now. Frozen to be free. Mr. Ben Lewis, Josh Ramos, Neal Alger, Bob Garrett, Timothy Archbold, thank you so much. We're going to take a short little break, and then we're going to come back for a whole nother set with some festive ditties. We hope that you stick around. Thank you.
Well, folks, before we get started with our second half, I just have a couple of announcements to make. And the first and foremost is I always love to share and appreciate this beautiful Oriental rug that shows up here for every performance. It's dropped off by our dear friend Carney Manassian, who owns the Manassian Rug Store. And every time we have a show, 3 or 4 guys show up and drop off this rug for us so that we can set it up for these beautiful musicians to play on. And then they come and pick it up the next day and take it away. So, extra special thank you to the Manassian Rug Store. Yay. Also, I did want to mention Amy Woodbury, whose beautiful piece of art is on the wall right there. She's a beautiful visual artist, and she has got that piece on loan here at Studio 5. So if you'd ever like to know more about her work, her paintings are all up and down the hallways of the Dance Center. Her name is Amy Woodbury, and she is a very special artist. We have several things coming up at Studio 5. Next weekend, the Chris Green Quartet is going to be performing here. And then we have 2 holiday things. Tom Eula, wonderful Chicago actor. He performs all over Chicago and has been at the Goodman, playing Scrooge at Christmas Carol for many, many years. He's written a wonderful book called Jacob Marley's Christmas Carol. And he is doing a live reading of his book, and it is spectacular. And that is coming up here. We also have an amazing New Year's Eve show called Mr. Olson's Champagne Celebration. And I gotta tell you, it's gonna be comedy, it's gonna be music, we have dancers, we have singers. It's a full evening of fun entertainment, followed by a bubble drop and champagne toast leading us into the New Year's. Check it out on our website. And if you're new here, we would really love you to sign up on our email list, which is right there on that table. And so please print if you're gonna do that. Tiffany's albums are also there. And just so you know, Steve, my husband, has been texting me all night long. How is it? Is it good? Is the crowd seeming to enjoy it? Say thank you to Dan. Say hello to everybody in the audience. So Steve Rashid says hello to everybody in the audience and wishes he could be here. And I will tell him you said hello. All right. Let's see. If I could have the musicians back on stage, we are going to proceed with our wonderful host, Mr. Dan Bindert.
Thanks again, Bea. And you know, Steve usually does this without any notes or anything like that. He told me, no, I don't use notes, so you can't use any notes or questions. So I'm just going to wing this as best I can, and we'll have some fun talking about Tiffany's music. Tiffany, I mean, the first set, I should start out by saying, was just absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
So,
Toot, 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 toot.
tell me about your relationship to the words in the music you're singing. You know, it seems like some jazz singers, the words are kind of incidental. Some singers, it's all about the words and they don't go too far. It seems like you do a little bit of both, but tell me how that works for you with the text of the songs.
As a singer, I think the most important thing for me to do is to deliver the text and to deliver the words, and for me to be a conduit of emotion, yes, for you and also for myself. So, and especially when it comes to ballads, which was a whole lot in that first set, I have to personally live them as I choose them. So every ballad that I sing, there is a real deep personal connection that I have. And that certainly allows me to emote. I've never been one of those singers I'm not a really good actress at all. I tried. I was in a chorus line. Yeah, I know, right? I was a better, so I was the singer in a chorus line, and then the dancer, and then the actor was kind of over there. So for me, it's really about feeling, like just gut, heart-wrenching feeling. And even in the joyful, more lighthearted pieces. So words are kind of everything to me. They really are. And then, of course, being moved by that melodic content and the harmonic depth. That's why I love jazz so much.
How about your repertoire? I mean, you sing songs of Duke Ellington and classic standards from the American Songbook, but then, for instance, on your latest album, Coldplay, Don Henley pop up,
Yeah.
Bob Dylan. We're here. You know, you seem to have a very wide-ranging aesthetic as far as what you choose. What makes you want to choose a song?
A feeling tone. I am lucky in my lifetime to have desired to search out and seek various genres of music, to experiment with those, from pop to jazz to soul to gospel, and really having some real life experiences with those, immersing myself in that genre. I will have to say probably the only genre that I have not had a ton of experience is country music, but I certainly appreciate it. But I love the backbeat, and I love the harmonic depth of soul and jazz and gospel. So I also pride myself as being a versatile vocalist. I'm a spirit singer. Yeah, so I'm a jazz singer here. Hi, I'll do some gospel over here. Everything that has some guts and soul. And I think in this business, I think in the world, we suffer from titles, right? We suffer from titles because we have to define ourselves. And I'm so grateful that I've defined myself as a jazz singer, and I'm so grateful that I get the support from WDCB to be included in that. But I also know that I'm so much more than that.
Well, thanks. And, you know, it seems like those lines used to be a lot more strict. Does it feel like those walls have broken down a little bit now in 2017?
Absolutely. And, you know, I have to give a shout out to Cassandra Wilson, because she is one of my favorites among many of the jazz greats. And I remember seeing her at the Park West in the 90s, and I was blown away. It was her Blue Light Till Dawn release. And Jeff Haynes, I believe his name is, was playing Udu. And I was like, yes, I'm doing that. Something like that. And she's doing Robert Johnson, and she's doing Van Morrison. You know, so at this time, you're right, the lines of genre crossing and such has blurred. I think there are some singers out there who just hold that beautiful role of more tradition. But I do believe that, I mean, just look at music today. You know, there's hip hop and jazz and hip hop and, you know, soul, and there's so much crossover, which I think is a beautiful thing. But I also firmly respect the traditions of jazz music as well.
Tell me about the group you have performing tonight. And,
I know.
And the
Hey, guys.
musicians are not all on stage.
I don't have anyone, actually. Oh, there they are. Oh, hi, Bob Garrett.
But it's an interesting instrumental
It is.
setup you have tonight.
It is.
Tell me about the thought process into
So,
setting up the band.
So again, you know, performing here with Circo Rivera, I really wanted to create an intimacy. And I was a little concerned with not having a full drummer. I've worked Chicago Jazz Fest. I had, there they are. Wow, hi.
I'm only half a drummer.
No, you're not half a drummer. Hang on. So at Chicago Jazz Fest, I had percussion, and he's all drummer, ladies and gentlemen. But I had a percussionist and a drummer, and you know, taking away that set creates a whole atmosphere. And I wanted to create that intimacy and keep it. And so Bob Garrett came to mind, and I've known Bob a long time. And Bob is an incredible percussionist and drummer. He's currently playing with Hamilton. Oh. Yes. And so he's more importantly, he's an incredible human being. and that is very important for me as I select the people that perform music with me. And then Timothy Archbold on cello. Yes, we met just in October, September, working with Cirque Rivera. So I knew I wanted cello on this, and I called him and he said yes. Joshua Ramos on bass. So Josh has been one of my main bass players for my quartet, and we have performed together for a few years now. So, and he's also all over Call It Magic. And he's also playing on Santa Baby on Yuletide Groove. It's a feisty version. And then this gentleman here, Neal Alger on guitar. I knew that I wanted to include Neal in this for many reasons, because of the repertoire I was chosen, but also the intimacy and the textural component that he adds. I have not really used guitar for the last couple years in my live jazz performances. And then also I have this innate sensibility with Neal. I mean, he can kind of read my mind, I read his. You know, we've been musical collaborators for so many years. So that was just, I mean, come on, natural choice. And then Mr. Ben Lewis on piano. Ben Lewis currently has been one of my main arrangers. He did a ton of arranging on Call It Magic and has been working with me in my working quartet for some time now. And that's pretty obvious as well. So that's how this band came to fruition.
All right. Well, now that we've got the band here, I guess we should
maybe
hear some
do a
music.
number?
I'll get out of the way. Yeah.
Thank
All right.
you, Dan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Typhanie Monique.
And put your hands together for Dan Binner. It's such a pleasure that he chose to come out and spend the evening. So thank you so much, and thank you to WDCB.
Call it magic, call it true, call it magic when I'm with you. And I just got broken into two, yeah. So I call it magic when I'm next to you. No, I don't, no, I don't, and I don't, and I don't. No, I don't, it's true. I don't, no, I don't know. Want anybody else but you? I don't know, I don't. I don't, it's true. I don't know, I don't know, I don't. Want anybody else but you? Yeah. Call it magic, cut me into two, yeah. And with all your magic, I disappear from you, and I can't get over. I can't get over you, no. Still I call it magic, such a precious jewel. I know I don't, it's true. I don't know, I don't know. Want anybody else but you? I don't know, I don't. I don't, it's true. Said I don't know, I don't. Want anybody else but you? Wanna fall, I wanna fall so far, yeah. wanna fall. I wanna fall so far. Yes, I do. Of course I do. Oh yes, yes I do. Yes, yes, of course I do. Yeah, oh, yeah. I said I do, yeah. Said if you would ask me, after all that we've been through, still believe in magic. Oh, yes, he does. Said if you would ask me, after all that he's been through, still believe in magic. Oh, yes, he does. Of course, he does. Oh, yes, he do. Yes, of course you do, do that. Of course you do not know that. Of course I do. Yes, I do. Oh, yeah, yes. Of course I do. Oh, yes, I do. Call it magic. Call it true. Call it magic. When I'm with you, and I just got broken into two. Still I call it magic when I'm next to you. Thank you so much. That's Coldplay's Magic. It is the first track. So this tune makes me think of the holidays. It's warm and fuzzy. Right? I mean, trust me, I know sometimes the holidays aren't warm and fuzzy. You got family to deal with. I mean, let's just get real. You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire. I love you, Mom. While the breeze on high sang a lullaby, you'd be all that I could desire. Under stars chilled by the winter, so nice to come home to. You would be so nice by the fire, by the breeze on high. Sing a lullaby that you would be all that I could desire under stars, chilled by that winter. You would be so nice, you would be paradise to come home to and love. Oh, Mr. Neal Alger. Josh Ramos. You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire, by that breeze on high. Say to come home to, yes. Oh, wouldn't it be nice, so nice to come home to? Wouldn't it be nice for the holidays to come home to? All those crazy ways to come home to come home to come home to. And now,
Thank you, little Cole Porter. Thank you. So the next song is a beautiful arrangement. This is the first holiday song I'm singing. Yay, I'm excited. I do love these songs. They're so classic. This is one of my favorites, Vince Guaraldi, and this is a beautiful arrangement by Mr. Alger. It is featured on the Yuletide Groove release, and this is called Christmas Time is Here.
Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. Fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient tides of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here. Families are drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Mr. Ben Lewis. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by fireside and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, oh, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the
Thank you. So the next tune we're going to do for you is a Joni Mitchell song. This one is going to feature Mr. Alger. I love this one. Reminds me of my grandparents. My grandparents lived in a little city in Wisconsin called Necedah. I think it was about, when I was a little town of about 300 people. So every Christmas we would drive to their house for Christmas Eve, and I always thought that their driveway was so long, you know, just like it was a mile long to get to their little house, and it wasn't. As an adult, I was like, what was happening there? I don't understand. But the one thing that I loved is after, you know, Christmas dinner, we would head downstairs, and my grandfather was a rock hound. And so the entire back wall of the basement he was OCD as well, were these beautiful plastic boxes that had a styrofoam bottom so they wouldn't hurt the rocks. I'm serious. And these rocks were perfectly polished. Thanks for the background, by the way. These rocks were perfectly polished and cut, and they were labeled. And it was like these dazzling gems that were in front of my eyes. And I would just stare at all the rocks. I know. You're like, wow. I love that. Thanks, Neal. It's that's how I felt. I did. I was overwhelmed by all these rocks. And the beautiful thing is I have many of them in my possession now. And the other great thing is that I recall and that I own right now is I have, or was gifted, a Morse chair, so which is an antique chair that my grandmother from, 1900s, I think, or 1890s. And it's in perfect condition, and it was the first recliner ever made. It's in my living room right now, and I would sit on my grandfather's lap and just watch the fireplace as he would share stories. So that is what I love and loved about Christmas, and that was Christmas to me. It's coming on Christmas, they're cutting down trees, they're putting up reindeer and singing songs of joy and peace. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on, but it don't snow here, it stays pretty green.
I'm gonna make a lot of money, and I'm gonna quit this crazy scene. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. Oh, I wish I had a river so long I would teach my feet to fly. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I made my baby cry. He tried hard to help me, you know, he put me at ease, and he loved me so naughty, he made me weak in my knees. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. Yeah. I'm so hard to handle, I'm selfish and I'm sad. Now I've gone and lost the best baby that I've ever had. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I wish I had a river so long I would teach my feet to fly, to fly, to fly. I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I made my baby cry. It's coming on Christmas. They're cutting down trees. They're putting up reindeer, singing songs of joy and peace. So I wish I had a river I could skate away on. But it don't snow here, said it stays pretty green. I'm gonna make a lot of money, and then I'm gonna quit this crazy scene. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. so long, I would teach my feet to fly, to fly, to fly.
Neal Alger. Yes. Neal Alger. So we have one more for you. And this is one that you know, and you are welcome to sing along. Yes, I just invited you to do that.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Oh, yeah. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are near to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we will all be together, though the fate allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
One more time for Typhanie Monique,
Thank you.
Ben Lewis, Joshua Ramos, Neal Alger,
Timothy Archbold on cello and Bob Garrett on percussion.
and Typhanie Monique.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Bea. And thank you, Steve, Sam, Robert, for your sound magnificence. And thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you. Have a beautiful, happy holidays.
One more?
I think we might have one more for you. Yeah, I do. All right, so this one is a Stevie Wonder Christmas song. So we're gonna get a little funky. I have a friend of mine who sometimes makes fun of me because I speak like that sometimes. Just a little. When it's time to get funky, even in my jazziness, there's always a little bit of funk right here. So this is a great tune that talks about today. That's what I love about Stevie, Marvin, timeless lyrics. So this is beautiful, it's deep, surprise. That's how I roll. This is called Someday at Christmas. Someday at Christmas, men won't be boys, playing with bombs like kids play with toys. One warm December, our hearts will see a world where men are free. Yeah. Someday at Christmas, there'll be no wars when we have learned what Christmas is for, when we have found what life's really worth, there'll be peace on earth, yeah. Someday all our dreams will come to be, someday in a world where men are free. Maybe not in time for you or for me, but someday at Christmas time, that's right. Someday at Christmas, we'll see a man, no hungry children and no empty hand. One happy morning, people will share a world where people care. Come on, Josh Ramos on that bass. Someday at Christmas, there'll be no tears. All men are equal and no men have fears. One shining moment, my heart ran away from our world today, yes. Someday all our dreams will come to be, someday in a world where men are free. Maybe not in time for you or for me, but someday at Christmas time, yeah. Oh, come on. Come on, Neal. Someday at Christmas, man will not fail. Take hope because our love will prevail. Someday a new world where we can start with the hope in every heart, yes. Someday, yeah, Christmas time, oh yeah, yeah. Someday at Christmas time, yeah. Someday at Christmas time,
yeah. Someday at Christmas time, there'll be no wars. When we have learned what this Christmas is for, yes. When we have learned what Christmas is for. Someday in a world where men are free, for you women, for you women, for you women, yeah, yeah. No hungry children and no empty hand, yeah. There'll be no tears. All men are equal and no men have fears. So someday at Christmas, someday at Christmas, someday. Mr. Ben Lewis on piano, Mr. Josh Ramos on bass, Mr. Neal Alger on guitar, Timothy Archbold on cello, Bob Garrett on percussion. Thank you so much. Someday at Christmas time, yeah, yeah. Someday at Christmas time, yeah. Oh, oh. Men won't be boys, playing with bombs like kids play with toys. One warm December, our hearts will see a world where men are free, yeah, yeah. A world where men are free, equal to be you and me, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, someday at Christmas time, someday at Christmas, hey, yeah. Someday at Christmas time, someday at Christmas, hey, yeah. Someday at Christmas time, someday at Christmas, yeah, yeah. Someday at Christmas time, someday at Christmas. Thank you.
One more time for Typhanie Monique. Can she sing?
Thank you.
These guys don't play too bad either. What a special night. Thank you so much for coming. And don't forget, Typhanie has CDs for sale. And also, there's a mailing list for Studio5 if you're not signed up. Be sure to sign up for that on the way out. Thanks to Bay and Steve and everybody at Studio5. And thanks again to Typhanie and the band.
Thank you.